I think one of the biggest mistakes that people commonly make is an overdependence on the documents that they bring. They think that if they have the right documents and the officer looks at them, they'll be issued their visa. More often than not, consular officers don't want to see your documents. They want to hear it from you. And so even if you have, all the documents that you need, if that becomes a crutch to you, if you didn't prepare your interview answers and what you're going to say verbally because you have all the documents, sometimes that hurts more than it helps. Now, should you bring documents to your interview? Yeah, of course, because just in case the officer asks, it's always great to have it there. But just because you have the documents doesn't mean you're going to be issued the visa. If that were the case, then we would just make decisions based on mail-in applications like many countries do. The US government at some point decided, you know what, we think that the answers in person in an interview are more valuable, more telling about somebody's qualifications than the documents that they can submit. And that's why there is a required in-person interview for student visas. So it's all about what you say. It's not about the documents that you bring. I think that's definitely the most common mistake. The second is not understanding the motivation behind the question. There's really only three things that the officer is looking for. That's credible student, kind of financial plan, and ties to home country. And 99% of the questions that they ask are getting to one of these three qualifications, and your answers should tie back to one of those three qualifications. When it comes to paying for school, for example, the officers aren't looking for a magic number in your bank account. They aren't looking to see if your parents have property or land that they could sell that would pay for school. They know that if you are a genuine student, that you'll find a way to pay for school. What they're more looking at is, does it make sense for somebody who's coming back to their home country, given the economic situation in their home country, for them or their family to spend this money to study in the US? So, for example, if the family is selling all of their property in their family home so that a student can go to the US and study something that isn't going to earn them a lot of money in their home country, then it doesn't make financial sense. And it doesn't matter to the officer that you have enough money in your bank account. It looks like the real reason the family is selling the property is because it's worth it for you to start a new life in the US. So think about the requirements. When you get asked the questions at the interview, think about which requirement the officer is really getting at and try to tie your answer into demonstrating how you meet those requirements instead.